Welcome to the Tiki Bar edition of Cast Iron IRL. With me, of course, Honey J Badger. You guys, if there's anybody in, please hit the like button so I know you can hear and see me okay. And we'll get started. I'm just gonna connect to the live chat here real quick. And we should be ready to go. Oh, there's one like. But it says there's nobody in. Hey, Pat Z, how are you? Greg Hart, woohoo, back to you, buddy. Good to see you. Just get myself lined up. I think my camera's, my thing is, that's slightly off. There we go, sorry. But these things are best to get out of the way early, as opposed to late. The camera angles and such. How's everybody doing? I hope good. It's Thursday night. It's been hot. It has been hot. That is for sure. And I have not been enjoying it. I hope you guys are somewhere where it is cool outside, because that is not the case here in the Midwest. All right, we'll just give everybody just a second or two to get in here and get going so we don't have to sit and stare at the surfboard cutting board tonight, which is going to get a lot of work. But we are going to have drinks. We're going to have tiki drinks, and we are going to have some tiki food. It's that time of the year. I love tiki. I'm all about tiki. That's one thing. That is one badass looking knife. Yeah, I've had that one for a long time. It's definitely sharp. Bob the Builder, I'm glad you could make it. Didn't have to go to the replay. That's very cool, very cool. But yeah, we are definitely going to do some tiki tonight. Breaking out the wok. Got the big wok out for tonight. We got that going over here. I do not have it heated up. We're gonna do Hawaiian chicken over rice. That's what we're gonna do. Wasn't too bad in Texas Hill Country. No? It's usually a lot. That's usually where it is pretty horrible this time of year. Is down there in Texas Hill Country. But it's been, we went from rain and 60 degrees to 95 and 100% humidity for the last straight week. User one. Did you? Oh, they're already starting, Ming. I'm gonna have to have you come in already. They're coming out in force, right off the rip. Right off the rip tonight. But we are going to start by, we're going to start with a drink. Tonight's cook is going to be pretty quick. There's not a whole lot to this recipe for Hawaiian chicken, and it's versatile. You can use this any different way. You can bake this, you can stir fry it, you can grill it. The marinade that we're going to be using for tonight is not really, you don't even, for the stir fry, you do not need to marinate. So that's the nice thing about the stir fry. The stir fry part is quick. The baking's quick too, but I've had to walk out all week using it, and I wanted to continue to do that. So let's see. So that's what I'm doing. But we're going to start with a drink tonight. We're going to start with my favorite tiki drink, which is the painkiller. Now, a lot of people think Mai Tai, pina colada. Pina coladas are not bad. I do enjoy a nice pina colada. But the painkiller is by far my absolute favorite. So I'm going to get that going here real quick. And I'm going to do, usually the painkiller is served over shaved or crushed ice, but I did not feel like running the blender tonight. So everybody, to crush everybody's ears and all that. So we're just going to do it. We're going to do it on the rocks, which is a lot easier. So we're going to start out with, we're going to need, and here in my groovy 1970s Anchor Hocking juice container that I think everybody over the age, anybody that was born between 1970 and 1990 remembers somebody's grandma having one of those. So this one's mine. But what we're going to do is we're going to take 4 ounces of pineapple juice. Like so. Then we're going to take 2 ounces into the outside, not tablespoon. 2 ounces of your favorite rum. Now these call generally for dark rum, but they did not have the brand of dark rum that I usually go with, so I'm just going with any kind of rum. Did those girls that come from your garden? They did not. Is that a Hawaiian shirt? Yes. All my shirts in the summertime are Hawaiian shirts. I live the Tiki life. That's no joke. I live the Tiki life. So then we need the coconut reel, not the coconut. You can use coconut cream, but don't get any like coconut milks or anything like that, something that's not sweetened, because it will not work out for you at all. We need about 1 ounce of this. It's about 1 ounce, about a shot of that real quick in there. And a towel to wipe up my mess, because I overshot. This isn't in the frame very well. My bad. My bad. Okay, so there we are with that part. And then we're going to need, what I didn't get out yet. We need 1 ounce. We need 1 ounce of orange juice for this. So 1 ounce of orange juice. And we need some fresh lime in there. So we need the juice of about 1/2 of a lime. There we go. So we got 1 ounce of the orange juice in here. Do I have that on here? I feel like I'm in the shot. Am I in the shot? I keep having my back to it. I need the painter. Just woke up from a nap and getting back from visiting a winery. I was a little inebriated when I got home. Patsy, you are my spirit animal. You are my spirit animal. I love that. Let me see here. Let me put the lid back on this before I knock this over. There we go. And I might have 1 or 2 of these before it's over with. So don't hold that against me. So we'll take the juice of half of a lime. See that okay? Juice that out. There we go. And like I said, usually this is generally served with a nice cocktail garnish, maybe an umbrella and whatever. But I have no swizzle sticks. I don't have any of those. Get rid of our lime. Drop that in there. Drop that in. And I feel like I'm missing something. Now technically, to make a painkiller that needs nutmeg, so I'm just going to drop, it's a little bit of plain nutmeg, but I'm just going to put just a smidge. I'm not huge on the nutmeg part of it, but it is nice because it gives it that kind of spicy flavor. Welcome to the islands kind of a deal. And a few ice cubes, because like I said, we're doing this one on the rocks. Pretty sure I already put the rum in. I almost feel like I should put another shot of the rum in just to make sure that I did, but we'll see. This should pan out real nice. Like I said, that's what's nice about these little deals is the lid goes on. You can use a mason jar to shake, make mason jar lid. Do them right in there in their own little thing. And that's all you need. Let me get bowl down for the extra lime. Extra lime, because we're going to use more of that when we make the chicken. So, there we go. Everything's sort of in play with what we're doing. It's too hot to cook this week. Yes, Fuzz, it is way too hot. It's too hot to do a lot of things this week. But I don't know about you, but we've been deluged with rain for about the last 3 hours. I was, at one point today, I was contemplating whether or not to water my garden. And within 2 hours, we had a storm that was so bad you couldn't see the parking lot from the grocery store. And there we go, one painkiller. My absolute favorite go-to. It's kind of tied with that and the pina colada, because I do love a good pina colada, but these are where it's at. And everybody loves these. If you make these for party friends or just for yourself, it's definitely worth keeping around. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it right there. That's St. Thomas. That's St. Thomas in a glass. But yeah, this is, and it's an old Trader Vic. If you guys not familiar with Trader Dick's. Trader Dick was the guy who pretty much invented the Tiki bar and all that kind, and that whole genre was Trader Vic. Came up with a lot of these drinks. Some people actually confuse a Long Island iced tea with being a tiki drink, but it's not. It's actually Long Island, like Long Island, you know, New York. That is really, really tasty. I think I'm going to add just a couple more ice cubes to that, though, because that's going down. I'll have to watch how many of those I have today. Because it's a little early. It's still a little early. I'll tell. Can I have some? Yes. The door's open. The kitchen's always welcome. Everybody's welcome in this kitchen. So let me set the ice cubes off to the side and have this and go from there. One thing I did want to show you guys real quick before I get started with something, and I hope you guys can see it. You culinary fanatics are gonna, I don't know if you're gonna actually appreciate this or not, but as a lot of the folks know, I'm a huge Julia Child fan. Absolute huge fan. She's one of the, I used to just love her at her show on Saturdays on PBS. Used to watch it all the time, grew up on it. I think she's a great person. And one of the cool things that a lot of people don't know about Julia Child, and I just found this out like not too long ago, but did you guys know that Julia Child was on the team that helped invent shark repellent? That's what a crazy life that woman had. She worked for the OSS, which was the predecessor to the CIA. And hey, Handsome Stone, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. But yeah, I was reading up about her the other day, and she was on the team that helped invent shark repellent. I thought that was a cool thing. But I don't know if you guys can see this okay, and just tell me if you're not. But I was at a barbecue Saturday night, and I have not cleaned this up yet. You can get a good view of that. You guys, am I getting that in the shot real good? But I don't know if you guys can see that or not on my camera. But this is a Julia Child Boston Pot Company, made in the USA omelet pan. Now I haven't cleaned it up yet. It was actually sitting in the garage till about 20 minutes ago, and I brought it in to show. And I'm not getting it into the shot enough for some reason. I need to take it over that way, I think, a little bit more. I'm not sure. Why am I messing this up? There we go. But if you can see on the very bottom of that, it says it's not an antique or anything, but they started putting www.potshop of Boston. Yeah, the pot shop of Boston, which is kind of, you know, you can make fun of that name all you want, but they're the ones that make the ceramic pots that say Boston baked beans on it. Maybe you've seen those at like say antique stores or Williams-Sonoma, places like that. But they're the ones that make that pot. It's brown and like a cream color on the bottom, brown on top, has a lid. But they make the Boston baked bean pot, and they're the ones that make this. So and they started making these. They started making these back in the '60s, but the www.com pots or pans started coming out right around 1994. So that's how the age of this could be somewhere in there. But I just think that I'm not big on aluminum, using it too much, but I just think it's a fun pan to have, and I figured I'd share that with you guys while I was messing around. So anyway, let's see. Buzz, they smell like smelly stuff. Sharks are good eating. I've never had shark. I have never had shark ever once that I can remember. Wait, I take that back. I think I did have a shark steak at a restaurant once, but I have had shark before, but I don't know what kind of shark I had. The Stanish. Yeah, the Stanish omelet pans. Yeah, those were huge too. Hi Justin, how are you? Let's see. I'm just kind of catching up on all this stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna start heating up the pan over here. Let me go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead while I'm sitting here at the cutting board. I'm just gonna cut up there's not a whole heck of a lot of ingredients in this. And one of the things is with these, you want to kind of cut everything up to where you can see the ingredients in it. So we're going to make big chunks of the pepper. Peppers have already been washed, by the way. So we're going to just cut these up real quick. And we're going to cut these in nice sized chunks. And I'm going to put these in a bowl off to the side. This is the part that Val loves. She loves it when I cut stuff up. I don't know why that is. I don't know why, if I do that bad of a job, that it makes her nervous or what, but yeah, anyway, we're just going to get our peppers cut up. I'm going to get the wok turned on. Oh, technical malfunction here. There we go. I'm just going to put that on the very lowest setting and let that heat up. There we go. Because I'm doing the beads as snack ahead of time. So we're just going to roughly chop up this pepper. And I will be so glad when my peppers finally come in, because I am so sick of the peppers from the grocery store. They're all tough. They're really thin. And for whatever reason, for the past few years, peppers have been insanely expensive. It used to be you could get a pepper for about nothing. And I'm not talking about back in the good old days when, Grandpappy walked 5 miles uphill to school and back every day. But I'm talking just a few years ago. They were crazy cheap. Rough chop these up. Chop that. And like I said, the ingredients to this are so easy that I didn't even write them down for the show tonight. Just gonna roughly cut these up. And this was another dish that was supposedly created at Trader Dick's. Now I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that is what they say. And who they are, I don't know. So can they be trusted or not? Probably not. But for all intents and purposes tonight, I am going to trust them. So then we're going to need to dice up. Let's see. Oh, Mercy B's in. Hey, Mercy B, what's going on? William Hurt, good to see you. Good to see you. Let me see who else. Anybody else? Anybody else? Not sure. But anyway, we're going to need about 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger. If you don't have that, 2 teaspoons, don't do tablespoons, do teaspoons of powdered ginger. Because you will over ginger if you go with 2 tablespoons of ginger in this. And I'm going to use, normally for a stir fry, I would use wok oil, but we're not trying to make an Asian necessarily dish. Although this is Polynesian for the most part, there's not a lot of, in a lot of tiki cooking, there's not a lot of wok oils and things like that, oyster sauces, none of that kind of stuff. It's pretty straightforward. We are going to use some soy sauce tonight. And one of the other things that I will point out, if you do make this, and you stir fry it or bake it, if you bake it, go about 400, and it's only going to take you about 25 minutes, depending on if you use chicken thighs, if you use chicken breasts, it'll take you a little longer. And if you use chicken breast, cut the pieces down, don't use a full, maybe cut the chicken breast in half. That's probably your best bet, is to cut those in half. Because you want it to go, you don't want to cook this at a crazy hot temperature for very long, because with the pineapple juice, now the recipes generally, if you see them, they call for brown sugar. I'm not using brown sugar. I'm going to use hot honey, a little drizzle of hot honey, and I'm going to use molasses in mine, because that's going to give it, I want this to have like a really dark color, and brown sugar just doesn't do that for me. And I want this to be spicy, so let's see, let's take in 2 tablespoons of, cut some of those pieces down a little bit. There we go. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think I measured that out pretty good for just eyeballing this off of the ginger root that I had it in the hanging up. Yeah, and I'm really excited to get the Julia Child omelet pan up in, at least, like I said, I doubt if I'll ever use it, but because I'm not big on using aluminum, and that's a whole other thing. But I'm really excited just to put it on the wall and add it to my Julia Child, small but cool collection of Julia Child stuff. Thank you, Greg Hart. I got that at Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati. If you've ever seen that ring game that they have in bars, a lot of times where you like, it kind of has the string, and you try and take the rings back, and you try and put them onto the wall. A lot of times you'll see them in their boards like this, but they're a lot smaller. Let's see. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a tiki drink. It's called the Painkiller, and that's what I'm having. You guys see the cup okay? Yeah, I'll get that up there a little better. Love these cups. And I just found out that Anchor Hockey came out with a set of tiki glasses this year. So that's in my list of things I just have to get offline and hit the button, the send button tomorrow. But yeah, these are my absolute favorite. And Mercy B, here in about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, I'll probably, maybe a little bit longer than that, but I'll probably mix up another one. I might have at least one more tonight before it's over with. And let me see, so I also want to use, I'm going to use some pearl onions that I've got laying around instead of breaking out like a regular big onion. But I'm going to just cut these up real quick and get these in there. Something stuck to it. Let's see, move this off to the side, and I don't know what the heck was on there. Oh, it was a piece of the bag, piece of that netting from that bag. It is amazing. It's Mercy. It is coconut real or cream coconut. You can use that as well. A little bit of rum, and let's see, a little bit of orange juice, and a whole heck of a lot of pineapple juice. This This is one of those drinks that I like to have after a night, like on a Sunday or Saturday morning, with the brunch at the sort of the brunch time, kind of like a Bloody Mary time, and it goes down. If you're not, if you're not into Bloody Marys or whatever, sometimes Bloody Marys can be a little more of a meal, as to where this is kind of just something you can sip on, and it's refreshing. I like Bloody Marys more in the wintertime. To me, that's more of a wintertime Sunday drink. And like I said, and once again, there is not a lot to this. This is a super, super easy recipe. So easy that I didn't even write it down. And I don't have to write it down. It's just going to be some peppers and onions. And classically, you would use red peppers. That's what, if you look it up, that's what is used for the classic Hawaiian chicken. But I'm not a huge red pepper fan. They're okay. And I've got some chilies that I'm going to throw in with this. But generally, I like the green pepper. That's how I roll. Might have to get a couple more of these, throw these in there. And I was waiting. I figured the Beags would be out here if she heard the chopping on the chopping block. But she just finished a pig ear, so I think she's probably sprawled out in front of the air conditioning vent or in front of a fan somewhere in the house, sprawling out, letting her food digest. Let's see. Red Russ 65, what are you making? Hi, so is Mal. How are you today? I'm good. I'm making Hawaiian chicken and Tiki drinks. That's what I'm making. Guys, everybody please hit the like. I should say that. I haven't said that yet. Please hit the like button if you have not subscribed and you want to come back and have your notifications on. Please hit the subscribe. We are trying to get I'm trying to get to a certain level. Right now I've got a goal and I've not yet met that yet. How come the Beags isn't a Beags? The Beags, all of the dogs in my family, it kind of goes back to an aunt that used to have my aunt and my grandmother lived in the same house, and they were huge dog people, and they always had dogs running around. I mean, tons of dogs. We had everything from Beagles to Doberman Pinschers. My grandmother was like 4'11", 5 foot tall, and she had 120-pound Doberman Pinscher. That's what she kept. And for some reason, she always called all of her dogs the Beagles, and that's just Graham always called the dogs the Beagles, and that's just something that's come down from generation to generation. All of our dogs, no matter what they are. Every dog I've had has always been the Beagle, not the Beagle, but I've always said, we always say the Beagles, the pack of Beagles at home. Let's see. The dog works undercover. She dresses like a Beagle. Yeah, it could be. Please don't tell the Beagle she's not a Beagle. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to ruin her. I don't want to ruin her persona. We were a little late because the star of the show had to go powder her nose right before I hit the live button. She let me know that. I think I'm going to throw one or two more of these in there. I hate to be boring with the onion cutting. Babysitting in my in-laws. Oh, you're a Cane Corso. Those are beauties. I love those dogs. Those are beautiful. Your cat, all your cats have, all 15 of them have their number names. That's funny. But at your house, I think that would probably be expected. Let's see. That boss is him around. Let's see, Zoe. Hi, late. Lost margaritas today. Man, that sounds good. I'm having a painkiller, a tiki drink called the Painkiller. That's what I'm drinking. But I am a huge fan of the margarita. My favorites are the guava margarita and the lime margarita. In that order. But I'm pretty much down for about any flavor of margarita there is. So we got 1 pepper, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pearl onions in here. We're gonna use the juice of some lemon, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay. But what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna rinse off some rice. I'm gonna get a cup of rice, and I'm gonna rinse that off, and I'm gonna get that started. But Zoe, I'm glad you're late. Better late than never. It is way too hot. It is terribly hot. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of rice, which is probably way more than I need, but that's the only way I know how to make it. I only know how to make a cup at a time. And then I'll take this over here and rice is out of the way. All right, so 1 cup roughly of rice. And then let me get down my strainer so I can rinse that off. And of course I've got my strainer buried. Give me just 1 second with this. This shouldn't take me too long. Without knocking the camera over and my menagerie of stuff right here around the kitchen. I'll be glad. I'm getting ready to add a new sink in here. So that's going to be pretty rad, as the cool kids say. That's going to be pretty cool. So let me throw the rice into this thing. Food does look good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let me rice into a strainer. And I'm just going to rinse that off real quick. I'm not going to bother bringing the camera around so we can watch me rinse rice. I think we've all seen everybody rinse rice in their lifetime. And I think, I don't know if Val's in here tonight, but I think Val, because if everybody's watched this show, everybody has something in their kitchen that is the bane of their existence. And homemade rice is mine. I am not the greatest rice maker in the world. But tonight, instead of water, I'm going to do, instead of water, yeah, I'm going to do chicken broth. I'm going to do a couple cups of chicken broth. So let me set that down there. And we'll bring you guys over to here. There we go. And we'll bring you over to the Cynthia Wesley pan. There we go. And we're going to use 2 cups of chicken broth. Let me just get that ready here over here. And let me turn that burner on. Turn that burner on too. Get this going over there at a nice, insanely high heat. So we got 2 cups of broth, roughly, almost. There we go. Got 2 cups of broth, and I'm gonna need that broth. I'm gonna need a little bit more broth when I do the Hawaiian chicken as well. So let's get that in there. There we go. 2 cups chicken broth. Ooh, was there something on my burner? Could be. I had that. Something sitting over there earlier. There we go. Okay, so that's cool. All right, that's all right. Sitting nice. And then I'm gonna get, for a little bit of color, I'm gonna throw some dehydrated chives in there, because it wouldn't be my meal if I didn't have dehydrated chives. So throw just a sprinkling of dehydrated chives in there. There we go. Not that many. Hey, there's Val. What's going on, Val? You missed me chopping everything up. Oh, that was your favorite part. Let's see here. So we got that going. We're gonna let that simmer up. We're gonna let that heat up. Then we'll add our rice to that. And there we go. bring you guys back over to here, and you can see my, if you can see that part, I've got my lid for my wok. Now I don't have one that fits, but I have my 15. That's my 15-inch Lodge lid, glass lid, and it doesn't fit perfect, but it sits on there well enough that it actually keeps everything. Till I get a 14, it'll work. I'm actually pretty surprised how well that works. It just doesn't sit in all the way up to the lip. So there you go. Let me see. Well, that was really nice of you, Val. Val can rewind the video over for the money shot of you cutting peppers. Head out of the gutter, right? C. Simpson, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Everybody hit the like button. We've got quite a few people in tonight, which is awesome. But not that many likes, and that's what keeps things going. And for right now, though, I am going to take the lid off of this. And for a lot of you folks that do follow every week, you guys know that I don't just rely on my oil for the wok. I actually use the trimmings. And since tonight there's a lot of stuff with garlic and things like that that the Beagle can't have, I'm just going to use the trimmings. This is going to be the Beagle snack here. Oh, let me pop this up just a little bit. Get the flame. I should have. Oh, sorry, guys. I should have turned the flame up a little bit on that before I did that. But it's not going to take much longer at all. Let's see. William says, Val says I have the Julia Child 2-quart casserole pan too. Man, is it aluminum, Val? Is it from the Boston Pot Company? Is that where you got it? Let's see, having leftover ketchup grits with cut up tomatoes, ham with overnight egg on the top. That sounds pretty good. That sounds really good. Just knowing how you chop. Well, I will tell you this, I'm signing up for the Jungle Jim's cooking classes, and so hopefully they'll give me some knife skills while I'm down there. I think I do just fine, but I want you to feel safe, Val. Okay, so we're gonna drop our rice. Our rice water is already, the broth is already ready for the rice. So we'll just throw that in there. We'll get that stirred around. Bring that to a boil, and then let that simmer for 20 minutes or so. Get that going. And I was going to just use water, but I need 1/3 of a cup of chicken broth for in the Hawaiian chicken. So I knew I didn't want to open a thing of chicken broth for just that little bit. So that's what I did. That's how I did it. All right. Turn that down to simmer and put the lid on, and hopefully that doesn't boil over. I got to kind of watch it with this. Yep, it sure wants to. That burner, I got the one burner. If anybody has electric stoves, they know they feel my pain because these want to boil over quite a bit. Sometimes there's a coil in there that I think needs replaced that kind of regulates my temperature. So if it gets to be too much of a problem, I'm just going to put it on the different burner in the back, and we'll call it a day. Let me stir that around a little bit more. There we go. And we'll stir that in there. And we'll set the timer on that. There we go. That's going away. That's kind of calming down. Now we can put it on simmer, and it should be all right. Should be all right. I'm sure I got my back to the comment section right now. Not purposely, though it should be purposely, because I know I'm getting eaten alive for how I make rice. But, so we'll set our timer for 20 minutes. And let that, and leave the lid on, and not touch it. Tom's Food Factory, what's up, buddy? How are you? Drop that heat. Oh, I did. It's down to, it's at the simmer section, Val. It's, I'd imagine what that's the abbreviation for simmer is SIM. I don't have any clever acronym to say what SIM is. I'll leave that to Fuzz. Fuzz can probably think of a good acronym for SIM. But we'll move this back over to here, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty with the wok. And we're going to throw the Beags in some chicken, because she has the scraps for tonight. She gets the trimming, and she should be happy too. She got beef stew today. She got a bunch of beef stew, because I figured all the dog food always looks like beef stew, so I thought I'd just get her some beef stew. So she gets that beef stew. She looks like a Demi Moore kind of dog. Let's see. When do the bikini girls show up? Any minute. But I saw them first. Just remember that. I saw them first. So there we go. We got our. And like I said, I do this with everything. The trimmings are the best way to. If you're making chicken, you might as well use your trimmings to give it that flavor, get that oil, and use the chicken oil to get everything, give it that chickeny goodness. And who doesn't like some chickeny goodness? Man, that dog's good. I thought I trimmed that a little better, but she's making out. She's basically getting chicken strips. That dog is the most spoiled dog on the planet. But for some reason I'm feeling a bit parched. I need to get back to my Tiki drink. And this is so good. This is perfect. It's been so hot. And it goes great with the diet that I'm on. I've been on a really low calorie, super low calorie diet, which alcohol is completely forbidden. So I fasted all day. And I've been under 1,200 calories, except for yesterday. I went a little above that. But I've been on 1,200 calories since Monday. And alcohol is completely forbidden. So I think I'm doing all right. It's kind of a 30-day diet. There's nothing special about what you eat. You just have to watch calories, carbs, and your protein intake. And no alcohol. So I don't really consider Tiki drinks alcohol or drinking. It's just kind of a, you know what I mean? It's definitely not drinking. Let's see if that takes some of the glare off there. Turn that light off. There we go. Maybe that might help the lighting situation. But yeah, Tiki drinks don't count as alcohol or drinking, because I mean it's mostly fruit juice. And Thursdays and Sundays are my sort of cheat days, considering I've had 150 calories. What I've had up through today is I've had 3 glasses of iced tea or sun tea that I made, and 3 glasses of sun tea. I had a Celsius and Triscuits in the car earlier, so that's what I've had. So I've had about 150 calories today. And I think I said this in the last live stream. If I make it past breakfast without eating anything, then I feel like I'm doing okay. I can cruise into dinner, and as long as I eat before a certain amount of time, then I'm pretty good. Vitamin C, yeah, there's lots of vitamin C. There's tons. I mean, it's pineapple juice, which is super good for you. It's unsweetened. Which I don't even know why you'd put sugar into pineapple juice anyway. You got a little bit of orange juice, not a lot, and coconut real. Now coconut real is pretty sweet. I will say that. Like that's basically candy. It's coconut candy is what it is. Anyone in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania area, I'm on the other side. I'm a ways from there myself. Quite a ways. But the Beags as snacks, and these will come into play later because at some point, Beags cam will be up. I don't know, has anybody seen Rick's Thumball in here tonight? I've not seen Rick. Let that sit. I want more of that oil. This was way more meaty than I thought it was going to be. I thought the Beags piece was going to be a little more. I thought it was going to be a little more fatty, which is what I wanted actually, because the dog has with all this heat, my dog has decided that she does not need any of her hair anymore. She needs none of her hair, and she likes to every morning, about twice a day, I've been running. I run a lint. One of the things I run a lint roller over the dog all the time, and she absolutely loves it. She loves the lint roller, and but that's one of the ways I keep. I've had to undercoat brush her a lot, but she's been getting lint rollers for days on end, and she loves it. She loves when she sees that lint roller. She goes crazy. Oh, really? Well, I hope his mom's doing better. I hope she's okay. I hope she ends up. Hope she's okay. And Rick seems to take pretty good care of his mom, so I'm sure if she needed him, he was there. All right. Let me get a little. I'm going to give this about another minute. Give this just about another minute, and then we're going to let the wok heat up. And like I said before, you don't want to let the wok go too high because of all the sugar content in this. You definitely, or you'll just come up with it'll be burnt, and it's like that if you use use the sauce as a marinade, or if you bake with it. If you go crazy, the high temperature for too long, you're just going to end up with a lot of. It's just going to be burnt. So there we go. There we go. There we go. I think for a little dog, I think that's just about where she wants it, where she needs it to be. Let me get a different container so I can put that into there for her, and we'll move on to the next thing, which is making the Hawaiian chicken. Or at this point, I think I'm going to make another painkiller. There's that. I'm going to take the temp down just onto the being on. So there we go. No salt, no pepper, no garlic, no nothing. Just enough for a little dog. I'm not too worried about those little bits in there. I probably could have put a little more oil in there, but I don't want to put a lot of oil in the dog's diet, because that could be some fireworks that I don't need to see. There we go. One piece just doesn't want to play ball. There we go. That's one of the reasons I wear gloves, for just such an occasion. Alright. So anyhow, we put that over there like that. Let's see who else we got in here. Nahir Hindi said hi. Hello, Nahir. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so let's get into that. Let's get into our next thing. Let's jump over here for the folks that didn't see how the painkiller was made. I'm gonna make another one. There we go. Let me turn my light back on. There we go. Like there's a shadow in there somewhere. Oh, that's just the something else. That's just the comment section. Okay, let me find my glass. Finish this off. Put that in there. We see that okay? Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's see. Rosaline Ania. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. And this is on the other side of the wall. So if I butcher your name, Rosaline, I'm so sorry if I butcher your last name. But yes, we're Hawaiian chicken, and we're having painkillers, Tiki drinks. So we were going to start off by Throwing our ice in there. Drop some ice cubes in here. And we're going to do these, like I said before, usually this is something that you would have over shaved ice or crushed ice, but I didn't want to run the processor and kill everybody's ears, so that's how we're doing this tonight. So anyway, sure we got plenty of ice in there because it is hot. It is too hot. It's too hot in the hot tub. So we're going to start with an ounce of coconut reel. 1 ounce. There we go. Okay, and that stuff I can put off to the side. Let's see, and then we're going to need 4 ounces of pineapple juice. Ounces of pineapple juice. Ooh, that's already, might be too much ice. Might be too much ice. Oh well. And let me see. Throw in a little bit of lime. Oh, we'll throw in our that lime. Yeah, I might have went a little overboard on the ice. That's okay. We got room to work. Half of a lime, the juice of a half of a lime. That's how all the cool foodies say it, which I'm not a cool foodie. And throw that in there. Put that off to the side. Let the pain relief begin. That's right. That is right. Did we do the rum yet? I don't think we did. And if we did, we can always do more. So then you need 2 ounces of any rum of your choice, preferably dark, but I don't like a lot of dark rums. Certain ones I do, and certain ones I do not. And they did not have the one that I like. So we're gonna go, there we go. Ooh, that's all the way to the rim, kids. That is too much ice. I might have to improvise here for a second. And shake this as it is, because I still got orange juice to put in here and another exact 1 shot of rum. So I'm gonna have to do some extraction because I went way too overboard with the ice. There we go. Let me make some room. That was banging by itself. That was really, that was insanely good. So 1 more shot of rum in there. And that's really, if you're making anything, if you're making margaritas, any kind of mixed drink with like a juice involved, 4 ounces of juice, 2 ounces of liquor, and then whatever else you want to add, as far as like cherries, simple syrup, anything like that. But that's your base for basically any mixed cocktail. 4 ounces of mix, 2 ounces of the liquor of your choice. So there we go. Let me get a splash of orange juice on top of that, and we are rolling. And then we're going to make our chicken. But there's just no sense of not having another drink, not having another drink in there. White Mountain Girl, there's the Queen of New England. How are you? I have been looking at the food you've been putting up, sweetie. That stuff looks amazing. I'm ready to book a room at the Manor and have you make me breakfast. Give that a good shake. Oh, you know all the right things to say. Yeah, I'm ready to. I'm thinking toward the end of the summer, I might just take and treat myself to a weekend in New England. Because, doggone it, I think I deserve it. Let me see, what did I do with my lid? I don't know. Not sure what happened to that lid I had. Okay, anyway. There we go, there it is. There we go. There we are. And there we go. And one painkiller. Don Ho would be jealous of this right here. Don Ho, rest in peace. Oh. Yeah, I already put lime in there. There's a funny story. My grandparents went to Hawaii when I was about 8, 9 years old. And my grandparents are what you'd call country people, but my grandfather was like my grandpa was like a country gentleman, and my grandmother and my grandma, she was like kind of a country lady. But they lived really rural, and but one of the first vacations when they started, when they retired, or when they took a vacation every year, but when they first started taking vacations, they went to Hawaii, and one of the places they went was Don Ho's Club in Honolulu. And my grandpa tells the story of my grandmother got up to powder her nose from the club. They were watching the Don Ho show. He was there. And she had to walk by the edge of the stage to get off the floor, the audience floor. And Don Ho walked all the way to the edge of the stage and snatched my grandmother up and kissed her. Gave her just planted one on her. And that was the shtick. That's what Don Ho did. He would kiss all the ladies. They would snap a picture. Don would, at the end of the show, Don would charge you $10, $20, and then he would give you the frame. You get a framed autograph picture being kissed by Don Ho. And when they got back from Hawaii, they got that out of there. My grandpa, of all people, they just got that was like the best part of them going to Hawaii, was her getting kissed by Don Ho on the way to the powder room, out of nowhere. And you can tell she had her hands up, like she didn't even know it was coming. She was just on her way out the door. A hilarious picture. I wish I knew what happened to it. I don't know where that one ever went. But anyway, we're going to move back over to here. Yeah. Don Ho was great, man. I love Don Ho. Oh, White Mountain Girl, she loved it. It was one of the things she talked about all the time. After that, I mean, they didn't like leave the picture out. My grandparents had they had a really nice house. My grandparents were really big. My grandfather was a big farmer. His claim to fame was he was the biggest. He owned the biggest mint farm this side of the Mississippi River. And my grandpa was a mint farmer for 30 years. And they never had that picture out, but I don't know what ever happened to it, but they were huge. That was their thing. And my grandparents being World War II, of the World War II era, Hawaii and Don Ho and things like that, that was huge. I mean, that was absolutely enormous for them in those days. That was like, yeah, I remember him on TV too, sweetie. I mean, he was huge. And, but yeah, for them to be able to, in those days, if you were that age and you were going to see Don Ho in Honolulu, you'd made it in life, and that was, that was one of their big deals to them. Let's see. Let's get started with stuff. So we are going to get some oil in here. Just regular old oil, no wok oil. This is just some simple vegetable oil. And we're going to get in there, put that into that. A little more. Just a little more oil in there. Then we're going to drop in our chicken. And man, I think I should mix up this sauce real quick. Let's let that sit. Let's let that sit. I'm going to mix up this sauce right quick. And that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, White Mountain Group. They went somewhere every year. They were everywhere. They went to Spain. They went to Egypt. They went to Greece. They went everywhere. They went everywhere. They were hard-working people that that's what and that was good for them. They definitely deserved it. And plus, they always brought us back cool stuff. Let's see. So I'm going to take, my rice is done. I'm going to set that off to the back and let that rest. And then we're gonna do 1 cup of pineapple juice. If you have 1/3 of a cup or 3/4 of a cup, that's fine too. So we're gonna go with, if I can get the lid back on this thing. If I can get the lid back on there. Okay, so we got 1 cup of pineapple juice. Then we're gonna use 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Boom. Let's see. Let me see, that's 1/4 cup. Yeah, there's 1/4 cup right there. So 1/4 cup of soy sauce. There we go. And then we're going to use, now you can use the juice out of the pineapple. That's technically what you're supposed to do. But I had so much other stuff that, with the pineapple tonight, that I just gonna use the juice. I'm gonna pour it into this bowl. I'm gonna pour that into there. And what you're gonna need is a 15-ounce can of pineapple. This is a 20, so we're gonna leave about 5 ounces out of that. So we'll just have this off to the side while we make everything, and then I'll add that in, and then I'll just take the juice and do other stuff with it. We're gonna throw some of the garlic. I'm gonna throw, let me back you guys up just a little bit. Throw some of our minced ginger into there. And we are going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic. That's going to be that. Then we are going to add, let's see, we're going to use, I'm kind of running out, I'm running out of room. Let me move this out of the way. And we need the juice of 1/2 of a lime. So, got that. A little bit of lime juice in there. And remind me to use the molasses. And a little drop of cornstarch. So then we have our lime juice. Throw this back off to the side. And keep going. Let me rinse my hands off. Rinse my hands right quick. Okay. How's everybody doing out there? Hawaiian chicken. Let's see. Matthew Wood. What are we making here? Yeah, Hawaiian chicken and tiki drinks. We're having a tiki night. Here's my tiki night drink. Painkiller. But I think this weekend's going to be, a little bit of pina coladas, I think, for Sunday. Because I do like Bloody Marys on the weekends, but I think for this weekend, I think I'm going to do pina coladas. Okay, so that's it. That's it on this. Oh, we need some red pepper flakes, just enough on the top. There we go, just enough on the top. Keep that spicy. And then one thing I almost forgot, besides the molasses, is we need 1/3 of a cup of chicken broth, or 1/3 chicken broth. So there we go. 1/3 chicken broth. There we go. I knew we were missing something. We were about to miss something. And then about 1 tablespoon. Now some people use brown sugar, some people just use regular sugar. I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of old-fashioned molasses in this. If you can get the Briar Rabbit, get that because it's the best. We don't have to carry it here, but I do get it offline every once in a while, and I do go through a lot of molasses. And we are going to whisk that up. Get a whisk so we can whisk this up. Oh man, that smells great by itself. I wish you guys could smell that. That smells amazing. Here we go. Get you guys back in the shot a little bit. Mix this up. Check the comment section for a second. Mother's Unsulfured. I've never had that one. Making things can be relaxing. ASDF, that is 100%. That's one of the reasons, that's one of the big reasons I cook. It just takes the stress out of life. There you go. That's all you need. Oh, I want to throw a little bit of cornstarch in there as well. Just a smidgen of cornstarch to add to kind of thicken this up. And then we're leading off at second and we're heading to third because this is getting to be, there we go, not much, just a sprinkle. That's why I didn't even want to say how much I needed, because it doesn't take a whole lot. If you can definitely over cornstarch this. Hazy, what's up, buddy? Hawaiian chicken and Tiki drinks, my friend. You only got a few more days till you see Oasis, don't you? I am so jealous of you going to see Oasis. That is so cool. That is so incredibly cool. That was one band that I never saw. There was a couple of them. I saw a lot of them, but there was a couple that I didn't. And Oasis was one. And The Verve was another. And I would have loved to have seen either one of those. Okay, so our sauce is done. And we're going to bring over here and we're going to drop in the chicken. Because we're ready to party on this chicken. Let me just move my camera just a smidge and move it back. Oil's in there. And we're going to drop in our chicken. Though I have no idea what I did with my gloves. I have no clue. And I hate to mess with anything like that without my gloves on. But anyway, so right here I've got 2 pounds of chicken that I've soaked in avocado oil for about 2 hours to kind of velvet the chicken up a little bit. And we're going to toss that in. There we go. That's flying all over the place. It's kind of one of the reasons that I wish I had find my gloves. But I'm working in a tight spot, guys. A tight spot. There we go. And we're going to let that kind of get both sides cooked. And then we're going to put in our pineapple and our peppers, and we'll add our sauce. And I don't have the heat up, I wish I could show you, but I just have the heat on high enough to kind of keep the burner going. That's all I have it going on. Because like I said, with as much sugar as in that sauce, you'll burn it. And let me get in a couple red chilies into here. Get those rehydrated. It's always good to have a few red chilies. One of these days, I have so many cans of these dehydrated red chilies, I should give these away one of these days. So we'll throw 2 of those in there. Because my red peppers are already starting to come on. I had, for stir fry earlier in the week, I've already had some of my Tabasco peppers are already off. I had 3 for my stir fry on Monday and Tuesday. Crank that heat to a minimum. And that's the setting I have it on, is minimum. There we go. Oh, and we got to throw our the rest of our minced. I kind of divided that. I should have said so, and I'm sorry I forgot. I divided up the minced ginger in half. So there's There's one tablespoon in the sauce, and there's 1 tablespoon in here now cooking with it. We'll get a little pepper in here. Yeah, that box of gloves. I don't know where the hell that box of gloves is. So some black pepper on here. And just a little pinch of salt as we go along. Just a little bit. Doesn't take much. A little bit of salt goes a long way. And I don't want to mess with the heat too much because, as you all know, cast iron, it will catch up. And when it does, it could be way too much. So we don't want to do that. All right. And that is a lot of chicken, but I'm really super hungry. So we're keeping that going. Let's see, let's check everything out. What is Brian and the grandma brand are the same? Are they the same? I had no idea. Thank you so much. Thanks for that little bit of cooking trivia. I had no idea. Because I've always liked the Greenbrier green. That's what I cook with, generally. That's generally what I cook with. I always used to, but for some reason, we used to have it here real regularly, and then it just kind of didn't, it's not. So, I don't know why, don't know how, but that's just the way the world's worked for me. Some of those, what are they? William Hurt, those are brands of molasses. Those are the old school ones. Grandma's, Brer Rabbit. Those are all really old school names of, I don't know if it's Brer Rabbit or Briar Rabbit. Probably Briar Rabbit. Kind of like the old storybook. Okay. So we've got this about, we want to get this about 2/3 of the way cooked. You guys see that okay? There we go. I don't know the actual name of the grandma brand. It has the grandma logo. Yeah, I think that's what I just had. I can look. Let's look. Yeah, Grandma's molasses. There we go. Grandma's molasses. And they come in molasses is in three strengths. So it's sort of three different grades. I think I am going to turn that up just a smidgen. How are we looking on it? Oh yeah, our heat's right there. Our heat's good. I'm always afraid when I do these that I'm going to, my canister's going to run out because it's canister fed. It's a hot plate. But let's get a little bit of this painkiller in ourselves. Yeah, I kind of grew up with molasses. I love I like to use that instead of sugar or brown sugar. And I like to, if you've seen the hack probably a couple times, William Hurt, where I 50-50 white sugar with molasses is brown sugar, essentially. So if you don't have brown sugar, you can use molasses in there. It works pretty well. Yeah, so that's about where we want that. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Don't worry. Let me see here. So now I want to throw in my peppers and my onions. So we'll toss those in. This, if anything, is going to be really pretty when it's done. And it's going to taste fantastic. This sauce, like I said, if you want to thicken the sauce up, you can with some cornstarch. But the sauce that I'm using is basically anything you want sauce. It's a marinade. If you use this to bake with or use it on the grill, use this sauce recipe as your marinade and add it to it as it's cooking, and you're absolutely gonna love it. I'm telling you, you will absolutely love it. It's starting to look pretty. Starting to get some prettiness to it. Okay, so we got that in there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pineapple and we're gonna put about what would be about a pound, almost a pound of pineapple into there. And we're gonna save just a little bit of that. We don't need all of it. We need about a pound of pineapple for that. 15 that would be a 15-ounce can if you're keeping score at home. Let's see. Throw that pineapple in there. And the people that don't like pineapple pizza, I think probably right now are going crazy. Sometimes you can serve this if you can take a half of you can cut a pineapple in half and take your pineapple out and serve this in this. People go crazy for that. People go nuts for it. And believe you me, guys, this is not going to be the first of the tiki stuff you see this summer. I tiki all year. I tiki as soon as it hits 80, 75, 80 degrees where I'm at, it's tiki time. Okay, and then now we're going to add our sauce into this. And we're going to save just a little bit of the sauce for dipping possibly. Or not. Maybe we won't. I don't need to do that. I want to get that. I forgot to stir it. So we're not gonna mess with that. We're just gonna let that roll. We're gonna let that ride just the way it is. There we go. And we're gonna turn our heat up. Oh man, I am splashing this stuff everywhere. I need to get a slotted spoon. I need to slotted spoon this thing. There we go. So you can just keep splashing on me everywhere. I like molasses cookies. I love molasses cookies. I thought about doing molasses cookies, Mercy, on the channel before, but molasses they have to sit, so you got to kind of do that the TV magic, so to speak. Now I've turned my heat up all the way, and we're gonna let this cook down. Let this sauce cook and marinate in here. That marinade. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. So good. There we go. We want that just to come to kind of a simmer and let that hang out. Get that all in there. But that is just gorgeous. I mean, I wish you could see it without the... I know it's kind of washed out on here, but for ginger snaps, I love ginger snaps, Val. You're making me want ginger snaps. Okay. We're gonna let that catch up. We're gonna let that catch up for just a second. Oh, I missed an onion. I don't want anything to feel left out. But I'm gonna sit here and read the comment section. We make ginger snaps into ginger softs. All each dozens at a time. Oh, nice. Honey, I will hook you up. You need to hook me up. That sounds amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a comment. Yeah, Val, if you have a recipe, email it to me at honeyjbadger, all lowercase, at yahoo.com. Oh, and I almost forgot the hot honey. Speaking of honey, I almost forgot to do that. And it's not much. I'm just trying to get rid of this one little sample jar that I've had running around the kitchen for a little while. And we're going to let that cook down. And we're going to put this hot honey in there. That was going to be my other thing, because usually this takes 2 tablespoons of a sweetener, like a sugar or molasses or some kind of a sweetener. And I used the 1 tablespoon of molasses, and now I'm using about a tablespoon of hot honey. Mike's Hot, extra hot honey. There we go. All right. And throw this in the recycling bin, and we'll let this cook down. And away we go. This is going to need a minute. Just going to need to be stirred. We're going to let that cook. Like I said, we're at the highest setting now. I've kind of slowly but surely raised this up. But we're going to want this, once this is thick, it's going to be done. And it's starting to thicken already. It may not look like it. That's one of the reasons I don't put, I put a lid on it at any time. I just let it ride out. But it's got a lot, it doesn't have, we're at about, like, we're almost to third base with this thing. It's just, we gotta let that slowly kind of cook up. I might just add a little bit more cornstarch to it, but not much. If I'm still kind of debating on it. But I might. Oh my, but this smells so good. I mean, this smells like a luau. Like what you would think a luau smells like. That's exactly what this smells like. I might just add a little bit more cornstarch to this. Because I don't think I put in near what they want me to. What I normally do. Which is, I usually use about a teaspoon. Which I mean by teaspoon, I mean a spoon like you'd use to make, put sugar in your tea. Ooh, that last drink went down pretty fast. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But we'll let that sit there and do this. Oh, there's somebody is. Somebody came a-running. Let's see here. What do we got? There is that Beagle. Oh yeah. It's that time. Beak scam. Who wants a treat? Who wants a chicken treat? Can you give me a spin? Can you do the spin? Oh yeah. There you go. Nice. Yep, there's the Beags. Get you guys down here so you can see her outside it. I figured out though, if I move the camera back, then she moves back. She kind of moves with the camera. All right. Can you sit? Can you sit? There you go. Can you speak? Arf? Can you speak? There you go. Good job. Little. All right. And how about you sit again? Yeah, get back over here. Get back in your spot. There you go. Oh, you want to spin? Okay, we'll take a spin. I'll take a spin. Good, yeah, good job, Biggs. There she goes. All right. How about us? Here, get back in your spot. There you go. Sit. Sit. Good job. I'd have you shake, but you're too far away. All right, I'm trying to get you in the spot. All right, that's good. That's enough of the Beags cam for a minute. Okay. So for the folks at home that didn't see any of the drink, we're gonna make another one. Just because I feel like I owe it to everybody to, if you have not seen how to make a painkiller yet, I think that I owe it to all you guys to make another one. The things I do, it's the sacrifices that I make for this channel that I hope you guys appreciate this at home. Give that another spin around. It's starting to thicken up. And I am going to drop this a little bit more. If you guys can see that over here real quick, that's how that's going. It's starting to cook down, but I am going to throw just a little bit more cornstarch. Because normally when I do this, I do a tablespoon or a teaspoon of cornstarch in here, but I did not this time. I didn't put quite that in there. So, threw about a teaspoon in there. There we go. That's about a teaspoon. There we go. I was afraid when I did it, when I put the cornstarch in there before, that it was going to fall out. The whole bag was going to fall out. So there we go. I hope Rick is okay. So let's stir that in there. Get the cornstarch in there. See, it's starting to thicken up really nice. That's thickening up really, really nice. There we go. There we go. All right. We're good. All right. Now on to the cocktail at hand. We'll move you guys right over to here, back to the surfboard. So for the folks that missed it before, and I'll wait till after. I did that. I made the mistake last time of not doing that in the right order. Do the ice at the end. So first, we want to do 4 ounces of pineapple juice, which is about that much. Throw that in there. We want to do 2 ounces well, there it is. 2 ounces of your favorite rum, right there. Throw that into there. We want to do 1 ounce of coconut reel. There we go. So about 1 ounce of that. This is hard to, there we go. 1 ounce coconut reel. We need to do 1 ounce of orange juice. You guys are probably thinking, man, he might have done this before. I might have. So then 1 ounce of your favorite orange juice. There you go. Okay, since my ice bucket, my ice bowl has been depleted, I'm going to have to grab another bit of ice. And we'll go from there. These are moments in my life that I'm sure my mom, if she's watching this, and she's absolutely proud of me to a point of disbelief. Because we probably only have had, you know, maybe 1,000, 2,000 people watching me make drinks. So then you want to take that. Now you can, there is an option of nutmeg. I don't really dig on it. I tried it on the last one. Oh, and I almost forgot. We don't want to forget half a lime, which I almost did. Let's see. And half a lime. Now you can use lime concentrate or whatever, but I like to stick with the real stuff. And there we go. There we are with that. And we throw the lid on to simulate somebody who has some class. I'll throw a regular lid on. Throw that off to the side. And put my thing back in there. Put the straw back in. And Viola. Painkiller. That's going great. White Mountain Girl, you can't beat fresh squeezed anything. Okay, so we're back over here to this. There we go. And we are just about done. This is gonna this isn't like a stir fry, where you're just you're just making like this and that. You want to have the sauce. You want to have everything in it. You want it to be cooked down. So it's not like you want, I mean, if you want to have the peppers and everything have a snap to it, that's, you know, you can do it that way as well. Leave the peppers out for a while. But this is sort of one of those dishes where it's real flexible. Real flexible. You can see the sauce is really thickening up for me. And that's where we wanted to be. When we give this, really this is down to like the next couple minutes. And it's ready to rock. There we go. There we are. How are we looking? As the famed announcer Marty Brown said, how are we looking? There we go. Yep, we're just cooking that down. And then in here in a minute, I'm going to fluff that rice, which actually, for those of you in the very back that are wondering how the rice is looking, I think I might have actually done pretty good with the rice. If you could, I'll bring that back up here to the front, which we've had that on the back burner. There's the rice. That's looking pretty decent. That's just going to need to be fluffed and all, and we'll be in good shape. It would be better if this was scratch and drink. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you've never had a painkiller, it's one of the most underrated tiki drinks there are. You know, you always hear about the Singapore Sling, the grasshopper, the pina colada, the Mai Tai, all these things. But for my money, if I was a Trader Vic's today, I'd be getting a painkiller or a pina colada. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned pina colada, that's for sure. Especially if they're done right. Honey, you sent the recipe. Thank you so much, Val. You will be seeing that in your near future. Well, you've probably seen them. But anyhow, there we are for the rice. The rice is coming along. We're going to move back over here to the cutting board, which I'm going to make just a little bit of room with some of these bowls and things I don't need anymore. I got a feeling I might need the rum for cleanup, so I will leave that out. But some of the other stuff I think we can safely get out of the way. The cutting board has seen the last of its use tonight, and we'll move these over out of the way. I don't know what. Oh, that goes to the chicken stock. We don't need any more of the chicken broth. Vodka tonic, double twist of lime, 100%. One of my favorites. I like any kind of lime, anything. I like a nice. One of the things that I drink when I go out is a gin, lemon, and 7, which is just gin, 7-Up, and with a lemon in it. That's one of my favorites. The gin, lemon, 7, which ironically is one of the first drinks I ever had at like a anybody like at a gathering. Somebody, when we had a bartender, he was like, what do you like? And I was like, gin. And they just kind of went down the thing and they made me a gin, lemon, 7, and I absolutely loved it. And to this day, I still do. Lots of ginger in those cookies. Okay, I love a lot of ginger. Okay, so here we are. We're down to the turning the heat off phase of this. We've got a nice, and sorry if I kind of took a while on this, and it might be a little out of what I normally do with it, but I'm still learning this wok. So It's not, this is exactly how I do it, or exactly how it looks at the end. It's a little quicker, but I'm still learning this wok. Normally the woks I've had in the past have all been stainless steel. So you can see how thick, that sauce is. That's really what you want. And if you were gonna use that same recipe for the marinade, you'll see what I'm saying. The marinade is very, very thin. So there we go. Okay. So we'll come over there. There's that. I think that's looking, I actually think it looks pretty good. We're gonna take the lid off of our rice and put that back over here. I'm gonna try and fluff that up just a smidge with a fork, and then I'll serve that up. The rice is actually, for me, I think I might actually have totally not screwed up the rice, but I could be wrong. There we go. And plus it sat for a little bit. It sat for a little bit. It sat for about 25 minutes longer than normal. But it's better than the sticky mess I normally make. So I will take this rice. There we go. All right. So we'll take that rice. Let's see, I'm not gonna lie, ginger men and women are delicious with the right amount of royal icing. Polish gingerbread cookies are best. They're at, let's see. I did, Sir Death Vane, or Death Vale. Yeah, I did wash it first. It took a little bit longer to make the main course, so it's kind of been sitting back there, and I really honestly, in all honesty, I sort of left it back there in the weeds for a little bit, which was my fault. But yes, you're 100% right. The only time I don't wash the rice is when I do baked rice pilaf. So let's put down our bed of rice, which is, for me, this is a lot better than I normally do. There you go. Big old hunk of, that's a lot of rice. But since I haven't really eaten today, I think I'll take it. And let's see. Let's use the Hobbit ladle for this. Let's use the Hobbit ladle. Let's see. Throw that over top of there. I kind of see now why people use red pepper in it, because it does look a little bland, but I'm not going to let it detour me on this. Let's see. There we go. Where is all my red pepper? What happened to it all? There we go. I don't know. But I'm going to throw a little bit of red pepper on there anyway. Kind of even that out. Are we on that? Okay. Sorry, bounce this thing around. Throw a little red pepper on there. There we go. And a spoon. And a fork. And we'll give this thing a fork, see what happens. Yeah, it smells great. I mean, it smells incredible. Like I said, the wok, I'm still getting used to the wok. A bake would have taken about 25 minutes. And in a cast iron skillet, one that I'm used to working with, that would have taken a little bit less. It would have taken about 25 minutes, but this is definitely, I am gonna put a little lime over top of that. Oh, and I forgot the scallions. So let's throw a little scallion on there. Gotta have the scallions on there. There we go. Now that's looking pretty. That's looking pretty now. Hit it with the lime juice. Hit it with some lime juice. My hands off. And there we go. Yeah, you gotta have the scallions. I almost dropped the ball on that. Let me drop into there and get into that. Point where I need to spit out my gum. And there we go. Get a taste. Wow. That's really good. You guys, that is really, really good. That's super good. I mean, the heat's just right. It's got a little spice to it. It's got a little kick. It's got that soy sauce in there with the pineapple juice. This is banging. Man. Let me get a little pineapple with that chicken. And the red pepper. You guys see that okay? That's fire. That's top 5 of things at least top 10 of things I've made on the show so far. Wow. The rice. And the rice actually, if you can see the rice, it's not sticky. It's not, it's not undercooked. It's nice and fluffy. There's a little, but you can see it. It's not all stuck together. The rice came out really nice. So yeah, it was 2 cups of broth with some dehydrated chives in there. Nothing else. 2 cups broth, 1 cup of rice. Wow, that's good. And it's not overly sweet. It's not overly sweet. Wow, that is really, really good. I wish you guys could taste this. Get a bit of my drink. We'll check out the comment section. Yeah. Mercy be, I told you I'd fly you in. I'd fly you in. That's like way too good for what I've done this baked and I've done it grilled before, but this is the first time I ever tried it in a wok. And I gotta say, it's not, the consistency of the sauce wasn't like what it is when I usually marinate in this, but I'm telling you what, this is amazing. This is absolutely, this is really good. The chicken's great. Wow. Wow, that is super good. And with the drink, that's like paired up. If I would have done a pina colada, it would have been in too much. But this, it's light. It's a light drink. It's not really heavy in the alcohol. Wow. I just got to get another bite of this. You guys got to, seriously. Let me get like half of that pepper there. That dried chili. But I don't know. I'm actually in awe of how good this is. Wow. That's phenomenal. I'm gonna taste the rice by itself, kind of. Yeah, and the rice is real good. It's not as chickeny as I thought, but that would pass. I maybe could have tossed a little bit of garlic powder into there, into the chicken broth when I put it in there. But other than that, it doesn't need salt. It doesn't need pepper. It doesn't need any more spice. It doesn't need any more sweet. That's like hidden. 100%. Let me see. I'm just reading the comment section. Grab the pepper. Oh, let's see. Good for him. Good for him. Sid's boyfriend. I think you do, Sid. You probably have. You've probably had enough. You've probably had enough for today. Let's see, Red. Looks like poop. Yeah. Let's see. Thanks, Rebs. Reds fan. I thought it said Reds fan. I thought you were a Cincinnati Reds fan. But anyway, that's like super good. Super good. If you guys are out there, if you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to make that goal. I'm trying to make that goal so I can add my links so I don't have to, every time I do one of these lives, say something like, please go to eBay and grab up a can of my cast iron cure beeswax seasoning. It's the best. It's getting rave reviews. It's trending on eBay right now. It's totally killing. We've been busy. I've been busy all for the past 6 weeks non-stop making this and going to the post office. That's been like everything I've done, but I can't put the links up for it yet. So please, if you have not subscribed, please hit subscribe so I can quit doing these advents toward the end of the show. But it is 150% killing ever since we started advertising on YouTube. For the past 6 years that it's been up, it has had 100% favorable reviews. I get it out sometimes same day you order, if not the next day. It goes on. It's been flying out of here. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe how much has been going out. Mercy B beard stuff. You want to know about the beard stuff, Mercy B? I can show you real quick. I'm not going to make a huge thing out of it, but I just happen to have a box right here near me. Just give me 5 seconds. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Sorry. I had to go, I grabbed some boxes from the shop today to ship out. But this is the Seven Shamrocks Beard Company beard stuff that I also make. This is all under the Seven Shamrocks Wax Company brand. That is my brand, 100%. There's the front. This is the Bay Rum, Irish Bay Rum. This is the one I use. Personally, I use this one in the lime. But that's my beard stuff. That's also available on eBay. And I ship that out just as quick as I ship everything else out. And like I said, it's all under the Seven Shamrocks brand. The cast iron cure, this stuff, it's all handmade by me, labeled by me, and shipped by me. All right, there you go. There's my spiel. That's done. But anyway, I do not do mustache wax, but I am looking into mustache wax. I'm looking into mustache wax and beard butter, of all things. That's let's see, Handsome Stone Valley. It's true. It's better. Fuzz than bot or person in CIC's chats, it's always the lamb mold. Yeah, there is somebody in there that always talks about the lamb mold, isn't there? Yeah, there is somebody in there that's always talking about the lamb mold. Yeah, it's 100%. Now, I can't remember who that is. I need to try some of that for my beard. Yes, Ronald Coward. It's available on eBay. It's all my stuff. That's just where I sell everything is eBay. It's all in one place. But I've been doing the beard stuff for 10 years, and I highly recommend the balm in the Bay Rum. DePaul. That's a yeah. William Hurt. That's who was always talking about the lamb mold. I don't know if they're a bot or not, but yeah, that's 100% who I see in there. Mercy, are you out? Okay. But I really appreciate everybody showing up. It took a little bit longer. Actually, I thought this was going to be like an hour show. But like I said, I'm also getting used to this new the glorious wok that I have, and I absolutely love it, and I am getting used to it. But this has been a fun cook. This was totally worth it. This was one I thought about making something else, and I am really glad that I made this instead of the other thing I was going to make, because this is like, I could have cooked the chicken at a little quicker, but I should have done it at a little higher heat. But I didn't. I was afraid I was going to burn the sauce, and I mentioned that a lot. This sauce marinade is very easy to burn if you bake with it. If you use it as a marinade to do on the grill, it's really easy to burn. But I mean, it's so I was a little leery with it, but I'm definitely going to try this a couple times again. I'm going to perfect this with the wok, and we're going to make this again for sure, along with a lot of other tiki meals this summer. I love tiki. I can't get it. I mean, my whole backyard, if you saw my backyard, it's all tiki. Wow, that's good. But yeah, I definitely could have done the chicken is a little on the I want to say a little bit of almost, if you, it almost has like a boiled consistency, and I'm not happy with that. But I'm happy with the flavor of it. I just wish I would have done it. I wish I would have done the whole thing in a lot higher heat, is what I'm saying. But wow, that is that's fantastic. But there will definitely be a Sunday show this week. It's going to be more of a brunch style show. So I hope you guys can all make that at 11 o'clock on Sundays. This Sunday coming up, we're going to be having a really good time. I'm going to have a really good time. I'm making something, because these have been my cheat days with my diet, and so I'm already looking forward to the Sunday, 100%. And it should be a barn burner. If you guys like the cheesesteak video, this one is going to be, you guys are really going to like this. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys get on out of here. I know I've been for all of us on the East Coast, it's almost 10 o'clock. For those folks on the West Coast, I know you're probably kind of winding down your evening, so I'm going to get out of everybody's hair. And you always do the Sundays when I'm at church. Sadness. I always do this, Val, I always do them, and then you can watch the replay. So anyway, Val, I'm sorry that's but that's kind of, I'm up getting around and I'm ready to eat, so that's why I do it. It isn't as much fun, and I do, Val, I always love it when you're here. You bring so much. You bring so much to the show. I always love your comments and your suggestions. And but anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna smash this. It's the first real thing I've had today, and get this place cleaned up. I've managed. I know you guys can't see it, but I have managed to trash this kitchen. And I think I've got about one more painkiller in me while I do the dishes and get this stove cleaned up. Just curl those fingers. I'm gonna have to figure out what curl the fingers means, because Bob the Builder, thank you too. I have no idea what curl your fingers means. I just pulled stuff down and cut it. Greg Hart, GH, thanks so much for showing up tonight. William Hurt, Pat Z, thank you so much for coming in. I want to say thanks to the trolls for stopping by. I love them when they stop by too. Handsome Stone, thank you so much. Pat Z, you guys take care of yourselves. And Fuzz Fork, and everybody else that was in here, all the hundreds of people that were out there that were not logged into the chat but watched anyway. I appreciate you guys showing up and making this so much fun on a Sunday night, or on a Thursday night. I got Sunday. I'm already looking forward to Sunday because I'm already hungry for what it has. because I know this is going to be about the last thing I have that's worth anything till Sunday. So, anything. Yeah, we'll see you next live. And maybe I'll just keep it going long enough. Maybe I can milk it, Val, long enough to where you can get there and see some of it and jump in. But yeah, hey Ronald, I need a painkiller. I've had I don't know, two, three so far. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you guys Sunday, and I will definitely see you guys in the comments section. See you.